We are entering June. It is the time of the summer blockbuster, and we just had a very interesting couple of weeks in Hollywood where we saw that Backrooms, we saw Obsession really come through and just be like, hey, we're entering a new wave, Hollywood. And it continues this week, and I'll talk about that movie in a bit. And I know it is not Scary Movie here, but Scary Movie is going to do really good at the box office, according to a lot of analysts and predictions. So we're talking June movie releases, messy bed in the back, but that's how we're excited about things because we're just jumping straight into it. But the first thing I want to tell you is hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We're going to start doing lives more. I kind of fixed the camera a bit this time. I'm just trying to record on it to see if maybe there's more I can fix with it. But if not, I am here with my mini HDMI cord that I might use for my Sony camera if I can figure that out, but I think I only have one HDMI port on my computer, so I need a display port to HDMI. This is not a tech channel. We're here to talk about movies. First movie I want to talk about that I'm excited about is going to be, of course, Scary Movie here, as you can see, because what makes me excited about Scary Movie not really is the movie itself, but sort of to see where people are with things, right? Because it's been a while since we got a Scary movie, and we are finally here in 2026. And the trailer was a hit and a miss for me, right? There were some moments in it where I thought it looked like this was gonna be really good, and then there were moments where I thought this is just gonna feel maybe outdated, a little stale. Scary Movie 2026 is here, that is directed by Michael Titus, written by the Wayans as well as Rick Alvarez. A group of friends reunite when a mass killer they encountered 26 years ago returns. This is going to be the sixth film in the Scary Movie franchise, and we'll see what happens. The first one with the Wayans family since Scary Movie 2. So we shall see. We shall see. Nonetheless, a lot of things being parodied, from Longlegs, Terrifier, Megan, The Substance, of course, Scream, Sinners, Wednesday, just from what I see from the poster, and we'll see what happens with this one, right? But yeah, Scary Movie. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on it. But let's move on to another film that is also releasing this weekend, which I am excited about if I can find a way to get the title up here. I was talking about how I need a better way of doing these things, and I do need a better way. But here it is. Masters of the Universe also releases this weekend, and I will tell you, when I first heard about this movie, I was like, whatever. I don't know if this is going to be it or not, but Masters of the Universe is directed by Travis Knight, and as soon as I looked into Travis Knight, I was like, okay, because director of Kubo and the Two Strings, also Bumblebee, and was an animator on Paranorman. I think we're getting somewhere. Also, the director of the new Leica film, which is Wildwoods. So there's something there to be excited about, and we will see how this movie will do or won't do. But nonetheless, I am here, ready for it. It says, after being separated for 15 years, the sword of power of King Grayskull leads Prince Adam Glenn back from his mother's home planet Earth to his father's home planet Eternia, where he discovers his home has been destroyed and is now under the rule of a powerful warlord and sorcerer, Skeletor. In order to reclaim his family legacy and save the world, Adam must join forces with his closest allies, Teela, Man-at-Arms, and embrace who he is truly meant to be, He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. Could be interesting, could be not, but nonetheless, I am still excited about it just because of everything I've heard about this movie recently from its premiere. So we'll be excited. We'll be watching this probably. So stay tuned for my thoughts on it as well. But let's move on to the next film on our list, which is going to be The Amazing Digital Circus. So I don't know how I put these posters last time, but The Amazing Digital Circus, of course, based on The Amazing Digital Circus, I was going to call it a TV show, but show that you can find on YouTube on Glitch's channel. I started watching this a couple of months ago, and I will tell you, this has definitely become one of my favorite things I've watched all year, and I think that this is going to be an important film because, as I was talking about earlier, Obsession, Backrooms are showcasing that the Hollywood formula is not the formula people want. People want more of these creative choices and these people taking risks, and this show is definitely one of them. So I'm excited to see how this one's going to do. I'm actually going to watch this tomorrow morning, so I am super, super pumped. But yeah, very excited about that. And it comes to Disclosure Day. So June is going to be an interesting month because I think where the beginning of June and also May showcase where Hollywood is sort of lacking in and the indie scene is sort of thriving in is a lack of understanding of what people actually want to watch. And that is people just want to watch things that are exciting and new. Now, Disclosure Day is going to be an interesting one because I talked about it in a short that I probably have on TikTok, but it might be on YouTube at this point. This is a movie that's going to be the sort of like test for Hollywood because this is directed by Steven Spielberg, 100 million plus budget. And are people still wanting to go see the next Spielberg? That's the big question, right? People went to go see Obsession. People went to go see Backrooms. Both films were made for less than $15 million together. And this is a film that cost 10 times that. Both films have grossed over $200 million together. That is a insane amount of money for these two films. A sort of little train that could, right? Now, of course, Backrooms had all the lore and stuff of it behind it that kind of helped it. I think that the same could be said with Obsession, the hype around the festival circuit that it had and all of that. But still, it was sort of a grassroots effort. For the most part, of course, there's studios and everything involved that are going to make sure it makes money, but still, people went out to see it. Obsession grew from word of mouth and it keeps growing. I think when it's all said and done, 250 plus million is not out of the question for both of those films. So we'll see what happens with Disclosure Day. I'm excited for it though, because from the trailer and everything we've gotten, Emily Blunt, Josh O'Connor, Colin Firth, Colman Domingo, Steven Spielberg, David Coeb writing, it has all that it needs to be a hit. The question is, will it resonate with audiences? I don't know. I'm actually going to a screening of it next week, so we'll see. Find Your Friends. This is a movie I've been wanting to watch for some time now, ever since it was on some festival circuits. Helena Howard, Bella Thorne, Chloe Cherry, and this is a movie that is very much so party-ish, I think, like thriller of sorts. I don't know much about it, but I want to watch it. It looks great. Everything I've heard from it at the festival circuits as well. This is going to be coming out this June. So I'm giving you a lot of different options here, from more of these like blockbusters to some indies as well. And it doesn't get any more blockbuster, I think, this year than Toy Story 5. Probably the first film, probably a for sure film to go into the $1 billion club. I don't know if it's going to be the first one, actually. Have we already had one this year? I don't know. I think that we almost have Mario. We almost have Michael in there. So we'll see if this one kind of goes a little bit quicker, because I mean, Zootopia was insanity. And Zootopia, I feel, in terms of like the sort of like pool that it has for the general audience, is big, but it's not Toy Story big, right? So we're excited for whatever this may be. And the whole interesting aspect of this is that, we've had a movie where it felt like a conclusive end with Toy Story 3. Then we had Toy Story 4, which felt like even more of a conclusive end. And now we're back again. And it's like, how many conclusive ends are we getting? And, we'll see what happens. I'm excited to see what they want to sort of dive into this one. I don't know if this is just a cash grab that they're doing it for, but I do hope deep down there is a great story that's amazing, and we shall see. So Toy Story 5 comes out later this month. We also have Supergirl here, which is going to be a pretty interesting one for sure. I, for the longest, thought that this was going to be directed by James Gunn. It is not. It is being directed by Craig Gillespie, who did Fright Night, which I thought was great, I, Tonya, which I thought was great, Lars and the Real Girl, which I thought was great, and Cruella. So this director has some pretty good stuff to him. I'm also curious of Millie Alcock as Supergirl or Kara Zor-El. Also in this, having Jason Momoa as Lobo, which I think is going to add a little bit more of that factor of like a comedy of sorts, and we'll see what happens with this one right here. But Supergirl is definitely going to be a test for the DC studios and the plans that James Gunn has, because do you get people to come see these movies that aren't based on the super big heroes like like Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, when the other ones, these big heroes, didn't do as hot? So we'll see what happens with that one, but I'm rooting for Supergirl. There's also The Invite right here, which is the new film from Olivia Wilde, starring Olivia Wilde, Seth Rogen, Penelope Cruz, Edward Norton. This had a pretty good festival run as well at Sundance, and I think it released in some other festivals also. So I'm excited to see what this one's gonna be like. I've heard great stuff about it. I don't really want to read about it because I think it's definitely one that you go in for the surprises, right? So we'll see what happens. That releases as well in June, and I believe the final film as well, and probably a film that I'm curious how it's gonna resonate with audiences, is Carolina Caroline, starring Samara Weaving, Kyle Gallner. This is a movie that I actually watched back in September. I do have a review for this if you want to go check it out. I saw it at TIFF, and funny story, I was sitting in the same row as both Samara and also Kyle. And this is definitely one of those movies that I think is going to be a cult-ish type of film. Directed by Adam Carter Raymar, who did Dinner America as well as Snack Shack, which I haven't watched either of those films, but I've heard they're great. This is a film that pretty much revolves around a couple that go on a Bonnie and Clyde run, and that's all I'll tell you about it because I think it's best to go into this one not knowing as much about it and really just loving the story. But June looks packed. June looks packed. It looks great. There's like 10 plus movies worth checking out in my opinion. So I cannot wait. I will be watching the first one tomorrow, which is The Amazing Digital Circus. I'll be trying to watch Masters of the Universe. I don't know if I'll get to all of the movies in time, but I'm going to be trying to do as many as I can because there's a lot of stuff to talk about as well on TV with Widow's Bay. Cape Fear just started. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We're on the road to 50,000 subscribers. We just hit 45K, which was amazing to hit. And I cannot wait to talk more and really get into the summer feels, right? So stay tuned for those videos as well as the lives that we're going to be doing. I'll see all of you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.